Hey, have you checked out Jay Hayes' Patreon, where you get access to Zooms Live and Discord? You should check it out today.
Patreon.com/JHayes. Join a $25 tier. Help me out. Someone has to pay for those.
So tell us your come on and hop in. To those of you that are new, this is Brie.
Hi, my name is Brie Bones, and I have a shiny forehead.
That's okay. Tell us the car wreck story. I'm interested in this car wreck story.
Oh, I told you before, didn't I?
I don't think so.
Oh, so, I was working at this lady's house, and this lady lived in like a nice part of New Jersey. And the nicer parts of New Jersey are like up north versus down south, and the land is more vast. So houses have like an acre of land with a really big house, a pool, all that jazz. So it was up and it was big. So getting there took a while. It took me about like 30, 40 minutes just to travel there.
Mm-hmm.
And it was through this huge...
That's a long drive.
Yeah, but it was money, you know?
Yeah.
And through this huge wooden...
Weren't you wasting more money than actually making driving that far?
Not really.
Okay. All right, so go ahead.
So...
There was this huge...
Oh, yeah, there was this huge, like, section of woods that you had to travel through. And I always was concerned about, like, deer. Because if a deer popped out, that's it.
Yeah.
But at the time, I was dating my ex. Your fan is blowing in my eyeballs. And I was dating my ex. And I needed a job. So that's why I started doing that. Because prior to that, I was waitressing. And the hours were absolutely terrible. The manager was such a creep. And, like, the pay was bad. Like, everything about that job I despised.
Mm.
I would go in at 5 o'clock and get off at 5 o'clock. Because they made us
Wow.
all work 12-hour shifts. But when I first started, it wasn't like that. It was a
Right.
normal job. It was only 6 hours. But then he changed it to 12 hours mandatory or I'm firing you.
Right.
Because so it was just terrible. And he was very handsy. Like, with all the girls, he would always touch them and, like, grab them when he walked by. And it was just creepy.
Like, not sexual, just...
No, it seemed pretty sexual. Like, when you talk to him, he got way too close. Like, it was...
Was he older?
Yeah, old Greek dude.
Okay.
So, Greek guys are traditionally more handsy.
Sure.
And smelly.
Smelly.
Yeah.
Like, they smell like gyros.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I was working at this lady's house for this kid who was way too old to have a nanny. And... so it was almost Thanksgiving. I remember that. And I was on my way home. And I would take this back way to avoid the wooded areas. Because,
Right.
you know, in New Jersey, there's lots and lots of deer. And here it's a very democratic state. So they don't like it when you kill the deer. But if you don't kill the deer, they kill you. So it's a catch-22.
Sure.
So on this back road, there's a light at the end of the street.
You never told me this story, but go ahead.
There's a light at the end of the street, and I'm coming this way. So the light's over here, and I'm going this way, and there's a stop sign here. And the light is red. So I looked both ways, and I crossed the road, and out of nowhere, this car T-bones me. And, like, I didn't even
I
understand.
would get so mad. If I knew you, and, like, oh, God, I'd go there and beat the shit out of the dude. But go ahead.
I didn't even understand.
Just hearing this makes me angry. But go ahead.
But I didn't even understand what happened because it was a red light. No one should have been able to go, you know? So this car hits me and scooches me down maybe halfway down the road. The other car barrel rolls into someone's house. Like,
So he had two cars.
wait for it. It wasn't a he. It was a child. She was 16 years old on her permit with two other minors in the car that were like 15 and 15.
So there's two cars in the accident. There's the person.
Me and them.
Okay, so they hit you.
Yes.
You're dragging down the side of the road.
Yes.
They roll
They rolled it.
into a house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if they hit the house, but they were mighty
But they
close.
ran the red light. Or their light was green. Your
It-
light was red.
I didn't have a light. I had a stop sign.
They had a light.
Yeah.
I've never seen that before.
Because it was like this. So I'm here. And
Yeah.
they came from this way. But I don't even know how they got down, because there's two roads. Like, it's two roads. So either they had their lights off or they were speeding, because there's no way that you could go.
So it's a
Hold on.
four-way?
There,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
there's no way that they could have gone 2 blocks by me looking right and looking left and going. There's
Right.
no way.
Right.
So either the lights were off or they sped, because
Okay.
the speed limit there was 25. It's a side street, but for how much I went down the street, they were speeding. They declared it a 75-25. So they
Okay.
declared it my fault because I had the stop sign, but they gave them some blame for speeding, and they also didn't push their brakes in the accident
Okay.
because they were
So
able
it's their fault.
they gave me more blame because of the stop sign,
Got it.
because it was my word versus their word.
Okay.
Um
So you were at fault, not them.
they made me at fault.
Wow.
But they didn't even touch their brakes in the accident. Like, the only skid marks on the road were mine from my tires going this way,
Okay.
because I didn't see them and they didn't see me.
Okay.
So it was crazy. My phone got thrown from the car. My car was destroyed.
What kind of car was it?
It was a pickup truck. It was my pop-pop's.
Okay.
So when he died, he left my mom 2 cars. So she gave me one of the cars so I could have a car.
Okay.
Because my last car just was terrible. Like, it was always in the shop. Something was always wrong. Either the mechanic was messing up the car more, or the car just hated me. So my pop-up's car was amazing. It was in perfect shape. It worked really well, and it had a cool back seat. You know,
Right.
it was like, it wasn't really a back seat, but you could open up a door. It was a halfie, you know.
Right.
But the car was destroyed on that side. Like, if I had a passenger in the car, they would have died.
Oh, so they
The
didn't
whole-
hit from your side; they hit from the other side.
Yes, the whole entire front passenger side was
You said your
wrecked.
phone was thrown from the car. Did you have your phone in your hand?
No, I had a phone holder,
Okay.
but I couldn't find my phone. But that whole side of the car was completely destroyed. Like, the door was bent in. It was like almost touching me. The front end where the footwell is was completely closed off, so I couldn't even get to my purse. The seat was crushed. Like, if I had a passenger, someone would have been charged with manslaughter. And then, so I got out of the car and I was looking for my phone to call 911, and I couldn't find my phone anywhere. And, like, my body was like hurt. Like, I didn't know what was hurt, but I knew that it was like hard to breathe. But I see the other car, and the other car is upside down in someone's front yard. And then they start pulling like these young chicks out of it. And the young chick, the also reason why they got 25% is because she was on a permit. She shouldn't have been driving alone. She was driving after 9 p.m. curfew, and she was driving with passengers in the car that were not her relatives. So she also got tickets.
Okay.
Like, we both got tickets.
Right.
And so my first thought, you know, kind of guilt, is I hope no one died. Because if they died, I'm going to jail.
Right.
And so the cops come and the ambulance comes, but I didn't want to get in the ambulance because I knew that would cost money, which I still have not paid. And so they took me to the ambulance, and then the ambulance took me to the hospital. And what happened is the seatbelt caused bruising.
On you.
Yeah, a
Okay.
significant amount.
Okay.
But I wasn't hurt. I didn't have any broken bones.
So why were you having a hard time breathing? Just anxiety?
The seatbelt, it, like, I had a bruise going across my whole chest. I had a bruise going across my ribs, and going across my torso. Like, it got worse days after.
But nothing broken.
Nope.
Nothing. And what about them on the driver's side?
No, they were all fine.
Even though the car rolled and everything.
Yep, they got bruises. Nobody broke anything.
So the car's totaled.
Both
right?
of our
you
cars
don't have full
were totaled.
insurance. You don't have a car now.
I was under my mother's insurance at the time.
So what did you get for a replacement of a car?
Well, that's a lot later. So I'm looking for my phone and I can't find it. And then I'm like, okay, whatever. I told the cop that I didn't have my phone, and if you could find it to let me know. And, like, I do not text and drive ever. I do not believe in that. I don't believe in phone calls while driving. I think that is reckless and pointless. So I knew, like, if I found my phone, they wouldn't see any calls. They wouldn't see any texts. So I knew that they couldn't use that on me, you know, because I think someone picked up my phone at the crime scene because the cop brought it to me at the hospital. And I thought that was oddly quick. You know, that someone already found my phone, knew that it was mine, and brought it. You know, I think someone assumed that I was on my phone and wanted to give it to the cops for evidence, but
Right.
obviously I wasn't, because I don't do that. And that wasn't in the police report. It didn't say she was on her phone. It just said that both cars didn't see each other and that it was my fault because it was stop sign. But my car was wrecked. I went back there the next day in my mom's car to look around for things because my car like exploded. You know, everything that was in
What were you looking for?
my stuff. They left
What
it.
stuff?
That's in the car. So they left it all over the side of the road. Like notebooks, my bag, my I was smoking, my cigarettes, my
Okay,
lighter,
okay.
like all that stuff, and I was like, at least I found my cigarettes. Like I was excited about
Oh,
that
you
part.
found the cigarette.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I couldn't find my GPS. It
Okay.
was before everyone had like um the GPSs on their phones, and I didn't have enough data for that. So
Okay.
I had like a TomTom, but the
Right.
cheap version, the Garmin.
Right. Got it.
And then I went and saw my car at the wreck place. Like
No pictures?
I don't know. I would have to look.
Okay.
At the wreck place, and if you look at the car, it doesn't look like someone survived. Same thing for their car.
Wow.
Like they were honestly that bad, and it was by like the grace of God that neither of us were hurt.
Nobody was hurt.
Nobody
Not even
was
the
hurt.
People in the back.
Just bruises.
Wow.
Yeah, not even cuts. Like no one was bleeding. No one needed.
And the car, you said it barrel rolled.
It
so
barrel
it rolled
It was
several
upside
times.
down on this lady's yard. Like it was a corner house.
Yeah.
And she had a lamppost, and that's how the car stopped. It pushed the lamppost over, and the car was like this, upside down against it. So that was nuts.
So your first instinct was getting out of the car is, where's my phone?
Yeah, so I could call 911 because I don't know. That's just
so
the first.
Who called 911?
A bystander. There were lots.
Was there lots of people in this area? Because I'm thinking of like a field area.
No, it was after 9:00 at night. You know, I was heading home. The people who came out were people who owned the houses. Like it wasn't a highly traveled street, so there wasn't.
But there were a lot of houses in this region. Oh.
Yeah, it was like the nicer part of town.
You didn't hear anything?
Nothing. It was absolutely insane. Like she either had her lights off or she was speeding because I always look 3 times before I go. And I'm never on my phone. I only have the radio playing, which is honestly just background noise. Honestly, I think she had her lights off going down the street. Because I can't think of another way I didn't see her. Because I'm so careful when I drive.
It's just amazing you walked away harmless.
Yeah, so my car, when you went and saw it, the whole thing was bashed in on the passenger side. But my side, totally untouched. Like where I was sitting, totally fine. For them, the front end of their car bashed in and like went up, and the front of the hood, like the top part of the car got smushed. So it was like sticking out funny.
Right.
And the glass was all busted. But at the car place, it was kind of odd because they put both of our cars next to each other. And I thought that was really weird. You know, seeing the cars destroyed in the daylight was crazy. And then I got all my stuff out of the car, and obviously the car was totaled, so we couldn't do anything with it. So we just left it. We said, do what you want with it. We don't want it.
You get any money from the insurance company for it?
I don't know. It was my mom's insurance. But it was really sad because at the time of the accident, I was dating somebody. Mm-hmm. And so first call was to my mom to tell her what happened. A sweet old lady who's on the side of the road let me use her phone. And she said, what do you need? I said, I need to call my mom. And she said, absolutely. And she just handed her phone to me. So I called my mom and I told her what happened. And my mom was at the hospital before I was, which is nuts because I was 30, 45 minutes away and she must have sped. She came there with my stepdad and my brother.
Wow, that's nice.
But I called my boyfriend, and my boyfriend did not come to the hospital. He didn't want to leave work. So he didn't come.
Did you tell him the severity of the...
Yep, and he said, are you hurt? And I said, no. And he said, okay, then I'm staying at work. Yeah. It was at that point that I should have ended the relationship.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think at that point, sure. And how long did you stay with this person that you were with prior to, nipping it in the bud?
Probably like another year or so.
Even after the accident, him showing that he clearly doesn't care about your well-being.
Yeah. Yeah, but then so the next day, it was like at in the afternoon, the late cuz I didn't tell my the boss that I had at the time that I was
Mm-hmm.
in an accident. So she
The
just thought
nanny lady.
she just thought I didn't show up. And I was like, "Oh, I got in an accident. I won't be able to come." And she was like, "Well, I still need you for Thanksgiving," which mind you was like 2 days away. And I was like, "Well, I can't come. I don't have a car. My car is wrecked and I'm hurt. Like, I can't come." And she was like furious with me that I wasn't able to come and help her with her Thanksgiving meal. And I'm thinking, my car got wrecked on the way home from working for you. And you're showing no interest at all
No
in my well being.
regard.
Yes.
Sure, sure.
And she never paid me for that last week of work. Just putting that out there.
What was the other thing you said you never paid for?
Oh, the ambulance. I didn't want the ambulance, but I didn't have a choice. You know, what was I gonna do? Just hang out inside a rope? Like,
That's crazy. That's a crazy story.
yeah, the car was extremely totaled. Like, it was really, really bad. Like, it looked like someone, you know, like a piece of paper you crumple up? That's what the side of my car looked like.
What kind of truck was it?
A Ford pickup truck.
F-150 maybe?
Maybe. Yeah, but it was a nice truck. I really enjoyed it. Because it was a smallish pickup truck before they started making them really big and really wide.
Right.
So it was like
Oh, like a Ford
a
Ranger
compact
maybe.
car size almost.
Right, like this. What year was it? Do you remember?
Maybe like a 2006.
Like this?
Yeah, that.
That's a Ford Ranger. Wow. That's an absolutely amazing story. That's amazing that I'm surprised that nobody got hurt.
Nobody.
Did you
I
have to
don't
go
know
to
how.
court for any of it?
No.
What
Just
were the
tickets.
tickets? Speeding ticket?
No.
Running a red
I I don't think I don't remember. I got a police report, but I don't think I got any actual tickets.
but
Like,
they got tickets.
they did.
But then how were you at fault?
Because I had the stop sign. The insurance company just argued for like a year before the
And you didn't
statement
get any
came out.
money for the damages or
I don't know,
nothing?
because my mom had the insurance. You know, it
And
wasn't
how
my
old were you?
business. 20 or 21.
Wow.
Yeah, it was bad. Like, I was lucky. I don't know how nobody got hurt, honestly, because 3 chicks in one car and 1 chick in another car, and all of us were fine, but our cars were destroyed. Like, if you don't believe in God, I don't know how. Like,
Did you yell at them when you got out of the car?
no, I was just so
How
confused
long did it
as to
take
what happened.
for the cops to show up?
Almost immediate.
Was your memory at that point the same way that it is now, where you just kind of don't remember shit?
Yeah, I don't remember anything.
So it's always been that way.
Yeah, probably drugs. Like, they probably fried my brain.
But you only did drugs for like a year of your life.
Yeah.
You did drugs because of the people you were with.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't have found drugs if it wasn't for your ex-boyfriend. Was that the same ex-boyfriend?
No, different one. He would have came. Yeah, he cared. He would have came.
Oh yeah, he cared so much. He put fucking heroin up your nose.
But I mean,
If
like,
that's not caring, I don't know what is.
well, the other one provided like a place to live and food, but they didn't care about me.
Which one
being
was
alive.
the boyfriend for the accident? Shut up. Wow.
Yeah, he was working at the
That's the McDonald's guy, the guy that would make you get things at $1 meal while he would get two
good food.
yeah, you get the junior bacon cheeseburger and he would get the fucking extra large frosty with the 2 meals. Spend $20 and tell you that you could spend 3. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and then after that, I didn't have a car for a while. because I couldn't afford a car. You know, like that was my job. And now I didn't have a job, I didn't have money, and I didn't have a car. So I didn't have a job for a long time. And that's when I came to work for you. About 6 months later, because the accident happened in November, and I started working for you in February.
And your dad helped you buy the CRV?
At that point, I had
A yellow truck. Your mom's?
that's the car that didn't work well that I gave my mom in order to get the pickup truck, because she was like, "Give me the yellow car, I like the yellow car, and I'll give you this pickup truck because I don't want this." So we made a swap. So she gave me back my car, but she wanted it back, because technically it's hers now. And so he got me a car that I hated with all of my being. I have never hated driving a car so much. The first car he got me, it was a giant old minivan. And on our way home from purchasing this used car, the car fails. The car stops working when I am on the highway. I'm
I think
going
you told me this story.
75 miles an hour or whatever, and all of a sudden, the gas does nothing and the brakes do nothing. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. I am progressively slowing down. So I merged over in the right lane. I turned on my flashers and I waited for the car to like kind of stop, and then I put in the emergency brake. And then he pulled over. He was like, "Why did you pull over?" I was like, "Dude, the car doesn't work." So I turned it off because that's what you do when you pull over. And he got mad at me because I turned off the car because now we couldn't turn the car back on because the whole thing failed. The whole car. So we called a tow guy to come out. For some reason, the engine of this car was located behind the driver's side, in the floor bed. So the mechanic comes out, opens up the secret hatch, and is like, no way I can fix this, and closes the hatch. And I'm thinking, what is under there? And then,
Wait.
yeah, the part
Wait,
where the
hold
mechanic looked was on the driver's side, behind it on the floor. This huge panel came up, and he was looking inside of the mechanics of the car. I was like, I can't fix this. So that was my first car that I got after. And so that didn't work out. And the guy who...
Don said Ford Econoline.
That's probably what it was. And so the guy who sold us the car was in Asbury Park. So
it was a full-size van?
Full-size giant van. And guys, I drive a smart car now. I can't drive a massive car. I'm a little person. The mirrors don't line up for us.
That was cute.
So the dude was in Asbury Park, and as you can see, Asbury Park is all the way here in New Jersey, whereas Woodbridge is all the way over here. So we were like only a little bit back, so we're stranded. The dude does not answer his phone. We just picked up the car from him 30 minutes ago, and the car is already at a dead stop and does not work. Dude, you owe us our money back. Because he was a used car seller. He wasn't answering.
Oh, you got it from a car seller.
Yes.
Oh.
He was not answering his phone. We're like, it's too late to go there.
5'1", right? Your height. 5'1"?
No, 4'11".
Oh, 4'11". All right, go ahead.
So we couldn't go back because it was too late at night, and we were hanging out in a parking lot of a closed what's it called when you fast food place, because it was too late for them to be open. Because the tow guy, in New Jersey, if you get towed and you're on a major highway, that tow person is specific for the highway and costs more. If you get a tow person from in a town, it's cheaper. So the tow dude was super cool and was like, I'll tow you 1 mile to this thing and we don't have to charge you that much. You can just pay me cash. He's like, I don't even have to register that I actually picked you up. And we're like, all right. So we sat in that parking lot for like forever. Like 4 hours waiting for another normal tow truck to come. And then he towed the car. I don't know where he towed it to, honestly. I think it was in our driveway. And then
So what was wrong with the truck? Did you get the money back for the van?
So we kept calling this guy. He didn't pick up. The boyfriend I had at the time looks him up on Facebook, messages him on Facebook, messages him on the Googles, finds out who his wife is, start messaging the wife because the wife isn't answering either now. And now it's been like 3 days, and we haven't heard back from this dude yet. So he takes me in the car, and we go all the way back down to this dude's house and start banging on his door. And he's
Wait, his house?
yeah, because so it's a dual zoned area. So like
Okay.
he has his business here, and his house is right here.
Got it. Okay.
So we're just sitting outside his house waiting for him to come home to demand our money back. And then so the dude comes home, and the boyfriend at the time got out of the car. He was very angry, and he was yelling at this guy because New Jersey has lemon laws where if a car breaks down within a certain amount of time, you have to give the purchaser a full refund. And the guy didn't.
7 days. Yeah, it's 7 days.
Yeah, the guy
for a
did,
used car.
maybe that's why he was so stressed about the time frame. But he didn't want to give us our money back, and then we threatened litigation, and then he ends up giving us our cash back. And he comes and takes the car. Like, he came back and towed the broken car back to his car lot. And then we never heard from him again. And then, so the boyfriend
This is prior to you working for me.
yes, we're almost there. And then the boyfriend at the time finds another car that is, again, way too large for me. Think of the largest pickup truck that you could possibly acquire. It was that. It was massive. It didn't fit in parking spots. It was too long and too wide. So if you park next to somebody, you open your door, and guess what? You're going to hit them. And it had a cab. So at night...
Why is your boyfriend at this time getting you such shitty cars?
Because they're cheap. So the cab was in the back, and the cab had a window that was tinted for whatever reason. So at night, I couldn't even see out of this cab because the window that was next to like the window of the actual pickup truck was tinted. So it was normal window, tint, and then another window, and it would always fog up in between these two because it wasn't a tight seal, so I could never see out of the back. So I had to rely on these mirrors, and the car was smelly, and there were cigarette holes, and it was like cloth seats. It was gross. I hated being in that car, and it was so big, it would give me anxiety to drive because I would take up the entire lane while I'm driving.
Right.
It was massive. Like, I've never seen another car this big. And I absolutely hated it with all of my being. And that is when I started working for you.
Wow. Those are good stories. Those are very good stories. But then where does the CRV come in then?
So after...
Because when you started working for me, you didn't have...
Because I couldn't drive that pickup truck properly. Like, I said that I didn't want to drive it. Like, it got to the point where I was too scared to drive it because it was too big. Like, I couldn't park. I couldn't turn.
Maybe the boyfriend at this time got you these vehicles because he knew that they were kind of indestructible.
No, he wanted those vehicles because we used to go to houses and pick up their stuff. So, like, if there's tables or chairs or something outside, we would pick it up and put it in the car.
You know, Brie told me a story that when she was living at a house with this guy, that all of their furniture was from the garbages.
Yes, except for the bed and the sofa. But so he would pick up the stuff and then he would resell it on like Facebook Meets or whatever it is.
So the truck that you picked up, did it have 2 wheels in the back?
I think so.
So it's probably a dually.
I hated it.
It's probably a dually. Double wheels each side.
The cab was almost like it was built into the car already. Like, it didn't look like it was a separate purchase.
Yeah, sounds like a dually.
But so I said that I couldn't drive it, and then I think my mom helped me purchase a
Like
CRV.
this.
Yeah, like that.
Like this one.
Like, it was massive.
Yeah,
like, I
totally.
couldn't even get into the car. Like, I hated it so much.
Yeah, dually. So those of you that don't know what that is, it's basically 2 wheels in the back on one side, 2 wheels on the other. Yeah, that's a big truck. I think they make some in gas, but they're typically diesel.
Definitely too big for a small girl to be driving around.
Right.
But he wanted it so that way he could pick up stuff. The same reason for like the van. Like, it was cheap and he can use it to pick up stuff to resell.
So he would pick up people's garbage and list those for sale?
Yes.
What the fuck?
Lots of people do it. Yeah. So he would do that. And then my mom
What a fucking dirtbag.
My mom helped me purchase a CRV because I told her what was up. And at this point, I guess she would have gotten the check. And so when my grandfather died, the money from his estate was on hold for like 180 days to pay off any debts, after he died.
She wasn't sexy then.
Oh, no, I wasn't.
Well, he said sexy woman in a big piece of shit truck. No, she wasn't attractive then.
No, I didn't have
I
these titties yet.
no, or the hair, or the clothes, or no.
So they were holding the money from the estate for 180 days, but they relinquished the property. So that's how my mom got the car. Once we all got the checks from his death, that's when my mom helped me get a car. She helped me get the CRV.
And that's when you started working for me, and the rest is history.
Yeah. I only got $1,200.
No, she had hair, but she never took care of it. It was just like a frizzy ball, like an afro. Shitty clothes like Walmart,
Sam's Club.
Sam's Club jeans. Just frumpy, right? That's the word. Frumpy. Like the true definition of frumpy.
Well, I mean, being like a woman that
Did I
does.
help Brie get beautiful? Brie can answer that question.
Yes. How, like, a woman that doesn't
One
have.
could use the argument, say I groomed her. One could use that argument. Whatever.
A woman that doesn't have a man tell her that she's doing something wrong won't know any better. So I'm going to take it as no one ever told me what I was doing was not right. Like, nobody ever said, hey, women wear makeup. You should wear makeup. Or, hey, maybe get some pants that fit. I didn't have that. My mom never said anything. My dad never said anything. My boyfriends never said anything. So I didn't know that what I was doing wasn't
Attractive.
good. Yeah, or wasn't attractive. I didn't know that. Like I wouldn't wear mascara every day. I wouldn't do my hair. Like I didn't know that not doing that made me come across differently. Because nobody ever told me, hey, you come across like you live in a box. Like
But your mom did teach you manners. She did teach you how to be. I don't know. Brie has a strong disdain for her mother. Whether she would tell you that.
Yes,
She
I think
cares
she's
about
like
her,
an
but
evil individual.
she cares about her because it's her mother. But if it wasn't her mother, obviously she wouldn't talk to her because why else would she know a 60-year-old woman? But she respects her because it's her mother. But that's it.
Yes.
That's it. It doesn't go past that. It's just I don't want to say a mutual respect. Her mother does love her, and I'm not saying that Brie doesn't. She can speak for herself, but I'm not saying that Brie doesn't love her mother. But if I had to take an educated guess, I would say that no, she doesn't. She doesn't really care for the well-being of the mother. She was to pass away. I don't think it would affect her very much. You know,
I know that sounds dim, but y'all don't understand. I'm
that's
sure
it.
that you have someone in your life that is more of a hassle than a help. You know?
Yeah. And I can relate, and for someone to say, "Oh, that's wrong. You should love her as your mother." Look, you don't judge somebody else's thing because you have a great relationship with your mother. Don't tell somebody what they should be doing with their life. What you want to do with your life is your life. The way that she lived her life, um, made a lot of negative choices. Made a lot of bad. I wouldn't. Bad's maybe not the word. Not good choices, decent choices.
Well, yeah, like in school, I was never like popular. Like until I reached high school, the senior year, when I stopped trying so hard to be like everybody else. And then all of a sudden I had friends. But those friends did drugs. So then I started doing drugs. Like it was like that. Like I never had that experience of friendship where people would like want to hang out in groups.
Right.
You know, like everyone has like a friend that they would hang out like one on one with, or like two friends and you. But having like a posse was like cool, you know,
Right.
and I
A
really
group,
wanted
sure.
that. So once I was accepted into that, I didn't want to be kicked out, you know? Funny enough, though, after stopping all drugs and stuff, there is one chick who was part of that group who still messages me, like, almost to this day, asking if I know where to pick up drugs. Yeah.
Wow.
Like, I stopped
Wow.
doing drugs, and she messaged me. I was like, no, I don't do drugs. I'm not going to help you. And I wanted to reach out to her parents because her parents sent her off to rehab in, like, Arkansas. Like, they sent her far away. And her dad was so cool. They had an iguana. Like like she was that kind of rich where they designed a room around a theme. So her room was like a jungle room and she had a cool
This is the
bed.
girl that does the drugs.
Yeah, she had a cool bed where it was like a tree for like the bedposts and like the walls were painted and she had this giant iguana container that housed an iguana. Like it was just so cool and I was so jealous because it looked awesome. You know?
Brie, your upbringing fascinates the hell out of me, but it does explain how you became a sweetheart. Yeah, Brie is I could tell you out of the oh my god, so since I've known her would be 2015. You started working in 2017. 2015 or 2016, I've seen Brie get mad a total of twice. Well, no, three times. One time here, two times there. But I've never seen her get angry. That's not saying that she won't get angry. It just, I think she lived a very sheltered life, and how she lives her life now is vastly different than what it was 6 years ago. And that has changed her. It's that simple. Thank you for sharing your stories with me. Do you
Thank
want to
you.
tell more stories? Or are you good?
Um, hmm. Well, something that really helped change the way I thought when I was younger was my dad. Because he told me to pick my battles. At the time, I found that very annoying. But over time, it's grown to always apply. You know, like you don't start fights, you don't continue fights that other people have.
Hello? Go ahead. You know,
Yeah, you don't continue fights that people have. If someone's mad, don't get mad too. There's no point. Only stick up for things that you expressly believe in because then it would matter. So that helped change a lot of my behavior when I was younger because I was angry because my mom kicked me out and my dad taught me that. And then that helped me deal with her, you know?
oh, your mom kicked you out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know that. She kicked you out, and then where'd you go?
To my dad's. I think, honestly, I know this is going to sound bad, but I think that I caused my dad to lose his wife. Like, I think that I was the cause that they split.
Did
Like,
that make you feel guilty?
yeah. Like, I don't think that he would ever tell me, but I think that I was. Because I was there, and then he got me my own apartment, and then I was living in that apartment. And then all of a sudden, I don't know, like a year later or so, he took over my apartment, and I moved out. So I think that I caused problems because I was an angry teenager who got kicked out of her house. You know, trying to go to college but not going to any classes. You know, like
Well, you used to go to college and just sit in on the classroom. This is the craziest fucking
oh
thing.
yeah, that's
I
after.
have never in my life heard of this. So tell them.
Oh, so one of my boyfriends was going to Rutgers in Newark, and when he had classes, I went with him, and I also attended those classes. Nobody ever asked me who I was. Nobody ever asked me why I was there. I just did the same assignments and everything was fine.
But did you get graded?
No. Nobody ever questioned my existence. Like, ever.
So you just sat in learning shit and no one ever, but no degree or nothing.
Nope. I just hung out.
Did you learn anything?
Well, I had that very old school MacBook, the one with the CD port,
Yes.
and I was learning how to do it wasn't Photoshop, it was some other program.
Paint Shop Pro.
Maybe that.
Yeah, it's probably Paint Shop.
Yeah, we were working on that and working on like dimensions and turning a physical shape that's flat into like a 3D shape. Like
That's nuts.
That's all I remember.
That's nuts. Going to school, not having to pay for it. You don't get anything at the end of it, but you get the education.
I don't remember anything, but it was cool, you know.
I don't see why you couldn't do that today. I don't see why that would be a negative thing. You don't get any credit, but at least you'll have the knowledge of doing something. Yeah, that is the definition of free education.
Yeah, I mean, he was paying, so we just got a 2-for-1.
A twofer.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Very good. Very good story. Any questions for Brie before we kill the stream? I'm sure someone's got a question or a comment or something.
And in college was the only time I have ever gotten a flat tire. And it was my fault.
Did you just knock on wood?
I absolutely knocked on wood. How many flat tires have you gotten? You need to knock on wood more.
I mean, just me being here. 1, 2, 3, 4. The van now 5, 6. A lot. What made you apply to work for Jay?
Honestly, I didn't pick it. My boyfriend at the time did. He found the ad that Jay posted on Craigslist. I did not have a resume because all I did was waitress, and I had that job at that lady's house that I was cleaning and watching that way too old kid. So when I applied with a paragraph. And Jay liked my paragraph.
Yes, same question I had for you, Jay. How come you're not cynical or bitter? Do you know what cynical means? Hate. Why aren't you filled with hate for your past or disdain or angry?
Honestly, I don't know how people feel that way.
Hold on to things like that?
Yeah,
That's
like
my argument.
I don't know if it's like how my memory is, like how I don't remember things, and that's what keeps me from being an old, mean, cynical lady, you know? But I just don't feel the need to hold on to that. Like, why bother wasting time being angry at things that you can't control? I would rather just be happy. Like, Christmas music came on the radio, pumped. You know, it's like a great thing that no one else seems to care about, but I do. I think that it's amazing. You know, it makes me happy every time I get in the car to hear holiday music. It's awesome. But nobody else cares. I don't think people enjoy the little things that are there in life around all of us. So they don't get that enjoyment out of life because they're not enjoying it, you know?
I don't know if I agree with that, Darian. Your upbringing's made you stronger. If a person seems to make you appreciate life better, I don't. I definitely do not agree with that with Brie. Um, when I met Brie, she was a very upbeat, sheltered individual. I fucking hated her.
He hated me. He didn't talk to me for like 2 years.
She was too energetic, too
happy to be alive.
too absolutely so much dislike.
Yeah, like I honestly only spoke to Jay maybe 5 times over 2 years.
Yeah, I absolutely but the way that she was, I don't want to say groom, but Brie has become my best friend ever. And I've met a lot of people in my life, man. I've served with a lot of people. And I don't know how to explain it, man.
You're my best friend.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Matthew, what you said just hit hard. Uh
But everything every day brings me joy. Like when I wake up, I look at the news and that makes me happy. I look at the weather and that makes me happy. I have my little drink and then I work out and that makes me happy. When I open my sodas, the first sip, oh, I love it. That makes me happy. When I eat food, when I look outside, when the wind blows, like if I see leaves, like everything makes me happy. And it's like some people just choose to be angry and they choose to only see the negatives in their life and not the positives, and that's all they focus on and that's all they dart towards, and then they're depressed and on pills and unhappy with their existence. And I don't want to live that way. I want to live being happy that I'm alive. Like, I'm lucky that I have a body that functions. I'm lucky that I'm not sick. I'm lucky that I'm able to work out. Like, some people don't have an arm, or some people are disabled.
Amen to that.
Like,
Amen to that. You
like
always think you got it bad, but I promise you that there's somebody out there
that has a
that's got it a
much worse.
whole lot fucking worse than you.
Yeah, or people that are blind and can't see, or people that can hear.
Yeah,
Like,
amen.
I'm lucky for what I have, and I appreciate
Yeah, I can't agree
it.
any more than that. It is absolutely, it's so fucking true. Even if you are that person without an arm, remember there's somebody out there that has no arms, right? Even if you have one leg, at least you got another one, right? And I'm being serious. I know it sounds fucking weird. Or you take someone like Dan, where all the times he had cancer, he beat it. There's people out there that died. So, no, I promise you, there's always somebody out there that's got it better.
Oh, yes.
I promise you that. And there's always someone that's got it worse. Which one? I like to look at the lane of people that have it better. I don't like to look at the lane. And if that's what helps you get past, looking at someone that's got it bad, oh, it could be worse. I look at it like there's someone that's got it better. I want to strive to be better than that person. That's the way that I look at it. The exact opposite. But that's just me. That's what that might be the cocky or conceitedness. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Well, thank you guys all for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the stream. Went much longer than
Oh, I'm sorry.
no, it's fine. It's Jay, do you feel Brie has mellowed out over time the same way you have helped her become who she is? Yes. Yes. If you were to see the old Brie from 2 years ago, as I think that's age, though. I don't think that's to do with me. Although I'm kind of the only person she really hangs out with, which is maybe why she's my best friend. Uh, at the same time, yes, there's levels where I'm like, chill the fuck out. Like she'll be looking at her phone and she'll see a puppy, and it's like she starts crying, and I'm like, stop with the. It's
But
a.
Jay, it's a puppy and he can't stay awake.
Oh my god!
The
Yes.
crack in the sidewalk is too big for him. He needs help.
Oh my god.
He needs me. I can help him over that sidewalk.
Yep. And on that note, you guys have a fantastic day. And remember, someone's always got it better than you. Or
Someone's always got it worse.